Hello.
Hello,
It
hello.
looks like we are currently streaming. Hi, welcome everyone. I don't know who's here yet. It looks like just me and you. So, hello to the people that may be watching this on demand later. I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, some people
Hey,
coming
we've
in.
got some folks already.
Welcome,
filtered
welcome.
in.
I wish I could have users in chat, like, also next to the actual chat in this pop-up window. But you know, this is first time streaming, so
yeah.
On my channel at least.
Hold on, I'm gonna retweet the one you made with the fancy graphic.
Ooh.
Because now my timeline has like 6 retweets of you announcing the stream back to back.
Uh-huh. All right. So for those that are here now, welcome. We've got our agenda over on the right-hand side of the streaming window. You can kind of see what we're going to be working on today. If you have any questions along the way, we'll be monitoring the chat. I guess we should do introductions. It's probably a good idea. Amr, you wanna start us off?
Sure. I mean, do you want to wait a couple minutes for folks to filter in?
I guess we could wait a couple minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, if we want. There's a few people here, but yeah, let's wait a little. And for whatever reason, it is not telling me that there are more people in chat. So, even though I can see people obviously talking.
Yeah, it's I'm seeing people popping in, but our mod view is just like, nope, no people.
Come on, mod view, what are you doing to me?
Failing us mostly.
Apparently. I don't know, because I'm in, what is it, Stream Manager right now on Twitch. And it's giving me a stream preview, which is nice.
Okay.
It had the chat on the left, but I popped that out. So that's nice. But is there like a I just wanna see the view that I saw before. Do I have to just go to my thing? You're live.
Yeah, I mean, if you go like look at normal stream, and then you can see mod view. That's different.
Oh yeah, let's go to the normal stream, which is my channel, right?
Yeah.
Hey, channel, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
channel, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I have to mute my audio so I don't hear an echo.
All right, let me pull up the tweet and drop it in a few places so people know that this is happening.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You know, self-promotion, that thing that you're supposed to do.
Go to mod view, please. Oh, wonderful. All right, so don't mind us as we do a little bit of stream setup since this is pretty much brand new to us.
Yeah.
I built the interface that you're seeing here from scratch this last week.
I think the smart thing that we're supposed to do, that I know that more professional folks do, is, you know, that waiting screen you had set up?
Yeah.
We put that on for a little bit longer. So that instead of us awkwardly sitting here in the filtering time, they get at least the waiting music.
I mean, true. There is some nice background piano music that I put onto the stream itself. So you're welcome, everybody. If it gets too weird with the piano music, or if it's too loud, let me know. I can turn it down.
All right, let's drop that there.
All right. I actually might just go and pop this whole thing over on the screen because now I can still see you. And now I can actually go to what we're working on today. There we go. So, we've got a few small things.
Yeah. we got folks in here. I've
Yeah.
dropped the links to places I wanted to drop them.
Excellent.
Okay.
All right, so
Cool.
let's go ahead and let's do some introductions, and then let's get started.
Yeah. You go ahead first. It's
All right,
your
I
channel.
guess I'll go ahead first. My name is Ryan Boelter, aka Lord Neptune. I was the original creator of the game that we're going to be doing some design for, Chimera, and Amr, you came on like a year and a half into the process or so, about the halfway point to where we are right now. And I'm also the one of the co-hosts on the Character Creation Cast podcast. You can find us at Creation Cast online. And gosh, I do a whole bunch of other stuff. I do sound design for a horror borealis. That's really fun. Gosh, there's so much. I think I'll leave it at that, though. Amr, you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, I can go ahead and introduce myself. Hey, I'm Amr Ammourazz. Ivor Works. I'm everywhere on the internets at Ammourazz, including Twitter and too many Discord servers. I've been at the 100 Discord server limit for like a month now, and every time I add a server, it's like,
Wait, there's a limit?
Yeah, it's 100 servers.
Wow.
I hit the limit 3 distinct times. Each time I deleted like 10 to 20 servers, and I hit it again in the past span of a month.
Wow.
Now I've just been sitting at the limit, and I've been clearing 1 or 2 servers at a time. I'm running out of servers to clear.
I've just been shoving my servers down into the bottom.
See, I do that too. Discord won't let me do that anymore. It's like you've hit too many. I just need to set up like an archive. Like some of my servers are archives for like old games and stuff. So I think I just need to like set up a second account that is I transfer ownership to and has all my archives, and then I leave.
That makes sense.
But anyways, like to them, Ammourazz, you can find me on hearing my voice on a few streams now. Tomorrow we're starting a new stream called Sound Clash, which is by Brandon, the Rising Tides on Twitter, and they are setting up a wonderful stream for their own game, which is gonna be a blast. We're gonna do session 0 and set up tomorrow at 7 p.m. So that's fun. I'm also on the Musafirs Podcast, which is currently on hiatus, but we're deep in recruiting for season 2, so we should be starting with that hopefully by the end of the year, definitely 2021. I've also got a couple of small projects on the back burner that I'll talk about when they come out. And a little secret for all of you here, since you're here about Chimera stuff. There will, in fact, be a Chimera stream starting up hopefully September. And once I have the cast for that in the next couple of days and the time, that announcements will start going up. So
yeah, and you know what? That's kind of why we're doing this. We did this last weekend on your channel, Amr, and then we hopefully will finish up today, if not like a little bit throughout the week.
Yep.
I hope to get the majority of everything done today.
Considering I hope to go start on 2 weeks from this weekend.
Yeah.
We gotta start wrapping things up.
I mean, that's very fair. I was kind of thinking the same thing. I know my wife is watching, so please don't get upset at me for suggesting that I want to stream a campaign of Chimera as well. But we'll talk later.
Yeah.
I love you.
Getting that all out there now. So that'll be fun. There'll be more public announcements over the next couple of days, but y'all get to hear about it first. It'll be on the Huetopia channel with an all BIMPOC cast. And I haven't picked the cast yet. It's going to come down to availability, honestly, mostly. But everyone who's applied is phenomenal, so you will not be disappointed.
Yeah, that is awesome. And if I was going to be taking the reins of my own campaign as well, I would definitely want to reach out to some more marginalized folks and let them have some good voices in the community.
Yeah. Other than that, I also do game design, which is why we're here. And Chimera is probably the most ambitious project that I currently have out there.
It's a little ambitious, yeah.
It's a little ambitious. I have some ambitious ideas, but I'm like keeping them distinctly in the idea stage until Chimera is done, because I feel like one Chimera at a time is enough.
That's very true.
But you can find my game design stuff on Itch or on my Twitter. I do a bunch of freelance work. So I'm part of writing stuff for a bunch of different Kickstarters, as well as some smaller games. So yeah, I think that's it.
Very cool.
With all the tangents aside, that's my intro.
I'm going to bump up your text a little bit.
Do you want me to bump up the size?
No, I did already. It's fine.
Okay, because I can increase it from settings on my end.
No, that's fine. It looks good now.
Perfect. Good enough.
Mine look very huge though. So I'm gonna make mine a little smaller.
Cool. Yeah, and we are trying the captions on this stream for the first time. We've used web captioner before. You made mine real small. Hold on, I'm gonna bump mine up from. I'll bump it up from my settings. I think that's the best way to do it.
That's probably the best way. It seems to be linked between the two windows.
Yeah, it's been a minute since I set up the settings, which is probably in appearance. Yeah, text size. What do you have your text size set to?
Big. I don't know. I didn't really look.
All right, let's try this. How's this looking?
Oh, much better.
Yeah, that's your size. Okay, 2. I guess that you were at 2, and I was right.
Hey, that sounds good.
I was at 1.25 before. Yeah, so we're trying out web captioner. It's not perfect.
No.
It does mistranslate a few words. Mistranscribe a few words.
Yes.
But it gets the gist across. It'll help, hopefully, anyone who's got, I know I use subtitles and watching stuff because I just have issues focusing or processing stuff. It also, helps people who are hard of hearing or deaf. So hopefully that should help with accessibility. But if you at all have any feedback or ideas about that at all, please let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, one thing I forgot to check is my microphone levels. So hopefully I have been fairly audible throughout all of this. I just put it back up to 100, so...
I think you're coming through Zoom at least. I have no idea how you're coming through.
It should be the same, right?
It should be, unless you have different settings on both. But...
It's all good. I just can't minimize the Zoom window, otherwise our faces will disappear. Streaming, everybody. Welcome. I sound fantastic. Thank you. That's my lovely wife telling me that I sound good.
There you go.
Yeah.
What more do you need? No one else in the stream needs to hear.
Exactly.
There you go. You got...
Okay, so we have an agenda sitting there. So the agenda says we've got a couple smallish things, I guess, in the fantasy genre. There is the learned signature move. I think there's just like we need to name it and add a question and a result or something.
Yeah, a question and a result is correct.
Yeah. The survivor, that one has a new move that we need to create for additional moves. Some sort of interpersonal move.
Yeah.
The mask for magical girls, there is a couple things we need to double check. I revamped the signature move this last week.
Oh, okay.
So you can use it outside of combat too.
Cool.
So it's going to be something that I want you to look over and see what you think. Cool. And then there was an additional move that I revamped as well to double check that as well. Cool. And then there is also one new move. You suggested the title of this move last time. My work here is done.
I mean, it's not the mask playbook until we have that move.
Exactly. So that's something that we'll want to flesh out as well. The biggest, beefiest portions of this stream are the 2 superhero playbooks that we have. The Anomaly. Redo everything.
And the Outcast. I had ideas for those when we spoke about them last time. And then I tried to sit down during this week at various points, and those ideas were not in my head. So I'm hoping that when you read the scribe and we start talking again, I will have the same idea as I had last stream. I did take some notes down for myself for 2 approaches to take the Anomaly. Because I have some interesting ideas for that. One of which is a more straightforward that like keeps it in a similar structure to the rest of the playbooks, and one that messes with the structure of the playbook. And so we have to decide if we want a core playbook that is on the more complex end or not. So we can talk about that when we get to that.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So do we want to start small or do we want to start big?
I say we end on the superheroes. Let's get those design
Yeah.
muscles moving. Um,
Let's get our what is it? The lift the mental weight, as they say on DM's
yeah.
block.
Let's
All right. So
get
I guess let's start with the learned because that's the easiest one to do.
yeah.
So the art that we have on all of our playbooks is by Chase.
Yeah.
On Twitter, you can
I'll
find
pull
them.
Twitter link for the chat.
Yeah, at art_of_Chase, I believe, or it's art_of Chase, one of the two. And they just did this amazing just sketch art for all of our base playbooks. And they did an amazing job.
Yeah.
So I really like.
Oh nope, the art, the Twitter handle has changed. It's now Chase Makes Art.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, fun. Okay. Well, Chase Makes Art. Very descriptive Twitter handle, actually.
Yeah, it's perfect.
So the learned, for those that are not aware, this is a playbook, an archetype that is somebody who's studied their way to their abilities, right? They can be like the wizard, they could be a fighter, they can be like a thief, they could be pretty much anybody. A bard would be a good example of this. So you pick like domains that you've studied and you get to figure out what those domains mean.
Yep.
Et cetera, et cetera. So every playbook has a signature move, and the signature moves, if you pick an archetype as your primary, you automatically start with that primary's signature move. And if you pick it as a secondary, you do not automatically start with that. And we can get over that if people do have questions about what that all means. But yeah, let's go ahead. We got to name this thing.
Yeah.
We need another question for the roll with questions. And then we need another result from the result table.
Okay. Also, I should mention this since we're having more people in the chat. If at any point you have questions about the game, our thought process, what have you, specific things that pop up, feel free to ask. We are checking the chat regularly enough that we should catch it.
Exactly. So just feel free to just throw questions out there and we'll get to it when we can.
Yeah.
If you want to ask about other projects or stuff while we're working, feel free to do that too. I'm pretty flexible when it comes to that sort of stuff.
I'll be more than happy to give non-answers about anything you want.
Exactly. If it's something we don't know, we might make something up. So we'll see what happens.
We will give you an answer to whatever question you ask is the point.
Exactly.
Just some things we might not be allowed to give you the answer to, so you're going to get some obfuscated answers. That's the word.
That is a tough word to say.
Right? Especially when you don't see it in front of you. Hold on.
Obfuscated?
Obfuscated answers, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Let's see if we can get... Hey, it spelled it correctly. Good job. All right. So signature move. This is when you want to apply your knowledge in a new way to an unknown situation or an uncertain effect. Roll with questions. Gosh, I want these signature moves to kind of pop poetically.
Yeah.
In terms of their names, for the most part.
We have some good ones so far.
I know. Gosh,
that's interesting. We do need to rename the Survivor one in a similar vein, because it's descriptive but not really poetic at this time.
That's very true. Jack of all trades. Yeah. I'll put a little note on there for that one.
Yeah.
Like with the Protector, we have every battle is a dance. Devote, we've got that which is evil cannot stain my heart,
which is a good one.
I like that one a lot. The Bound has seal the deal at all costs. What is the Wanderer again? A cloak for every occasion. I think occasion's missing.
Part of me is like, maybe like knowing is half the battle.
Oh, I like that one. I like it. Knowing is half the battle. I love it. Give me some good G.I. Joe references. All right. That's a good name. I'm going to check that one off the list. I guarantee you, anybody that was probably born 1990s and earlier will immediately say G.I. Joe.
I didn't realize that it was a G.I. Joe thing. So when you said that, I was like, "What? Hold up!" And I looked it up. Like,
really?
No, yeah, I'd heard the phrase in like a couple other contexts.
Yeah, it's become ingrained into society. So, yeah, it's at the end of every G.I. Joe cartoon episode, they would say some sort of moral thing of the episode, and then they would say, "And knowing is half the battle," and then it'd be G.I. Joe.
That's very, very 90s.
I know, it was fantastic.
1985 to 86. Never mind, this is 80s.
Yeah, it's super 80s.
Peak 80s.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we've got question and a result to get. So we've got: are you bringing your domains to bear? Do you trust your ability to carry it out? And
trying to think. So
how about something like, do you feel that the weight of the situation is on your shoulders?
Interesting. That's not bad. I don't know how much it necessarily hits the themes of this playbook.
True. Well, I mean, I'm thinking more along the lines of like the knowledge that you have is going to be the only way out of this situation.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
So like everybody's like, what do we do? What do we do? And then everybody looks toward the person that's got the book learning.
Yeah. That could work.
I'll put that in for now.
Yeah.
And it's a little ambiguous to the point where you can kind of argue either way with the GM, which I kind of like.
Okay, we can leave that for now. We need another positive for that.
Yeah. So this is on a hit, narrate what happens and choose one of the following. A 7 to 9 expose a gap in your knowledge to those around you, or your application has unforeseen consequences, and on a 13 plus select 2 instead. So you gain a deeper understanding of the world and your domains. You make an unavoidable impression on those involved, even yourself.
I hear you typing something.
I was just typing in the comment for the third question to come back to that later and see if we're still fine with that.
Yeah, we had a comment there already.
Yep, I just typed over it as a response.
Cool.
All right, so this is
Right.
something about shifting the landscape of the situation, etc. is the comment that we have there, yeah.
Right. Yeah. I was thinking something along the lines of like manipulating the context in which you are in with your actions. Something that could work is like you bend the world to your will or something like that.
Yeah, bend
a little.
bend the world to your will. Manipulate the situation in your favor.
Yeah, manipulate the situation in your favor could work. I'd like a slightly stronger wording just because of the wording and the other two.
Yeah.
You manipulate the situation to your desire, maybe.
Okay. As you desire?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Something like that, right?
Yeah, something along those lines. It needs to be hammered down, but I think that's...
Okay, we'll workshop that later.
Cool.
I think.
Let's leave that for now.
But for now, I think that looks good enough.
Yeah.
So knowing is half the battle. Yeah. So I can see this working out.
Cool.
Everything else looks fine on this, right?
Yes.
So I am going to copy over the name here. I'm just going to copy over everything.
Copied over the whole thing, yeah.
Yeah, I got to copy one of these loose check boxes here. And then I can just copy the rest.
Cool. Hello, Ajay and a few other folks who stumbled in.
Ooh, Ajay, welcome. All right, so I'm going to paste this here. There we go. So now we are all set. So as you can see, the signature move is not checked by default on the secondary playbook, only on the primary. So when you put these together, I've got a little example over here of two playbooks stacked together from two different genres. The primary goes on the left, the secondary goes on the right, and they kind of form one singular playbook. And then down below, all your moves are the same. Online, primaries on the left and secondaries on the right. When you are folding these together as a physical character sheet, these two bottom ones swap just because of the physical properties of paper and like physics, I guess. I don't know. Haven't found a way to Transformers interdimensional pocket these papers into putting them on either side when we fold them together, but it works out really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is the learned. We redid that, all that stuff up there. We've got 2 comments down below just to check those out later.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm going to do now is I'm going to strike that off of our list.
Let's do it.
All right. Bam, bam, and save. That should pop it over into there. Perfect. So do we want to work on the Survivor next?
Let's do the Survivor. Ooh, nice. It's gone off our to-do list.
Yep.
Fancy stuff.
So I'm going to put brackets around the Survivor to say that that is what we are working on next.
Yeah.
Because I can't really.
Can you bold it?
No, I cannot. Unfortunately.
Are you using a text file for this?
It is just a text file that's being imported.
Fair enough.
Yep. But it's pretty sweet the way it works. So.
Yeah, it works well enough.
Yeah. So the Survivor is needing a 4th additional move. This is kind of our ranger type, somebody that. Or like a rogue, somebody that's kind of just taught themselves out of necessity.
Yeah.
Effectively.
I wouldn't say necessarily a specific character.
Yeah.
Class.
Yeah.
Borrowed, I think, some stuff from Rogue, but most of the stuff was new for this.
Yeah.
Um,
It definitely has a lot of things mixed together in it to create
yeah,
this person. Like what event shattered your life, forcing you to learn to survive? Who stood by you through everything, and what part of you have you preserved through it all? I guess one thing while I'm reading off these backstory questions, the primary archetype has one additional question that you answer during character creation. If you choose this archetype as a secondary, you don't answer that third question. And the third question is that one that really pops, usually, the one that really hits to the heart of it.
yeah.
Um, yeah, it is a Chimera playbook, Ajay. This is exactly kind of the theme of the game throughout,
Yes.
which is why I love it so much.
Uh, okay. So,
So what do we got on this? We got one move to make, right?
yep, and we got to rename Jack of all trades, which I'm thinking about it in terms of like we had a Jack of all trades when it was about getting to like try things that you shouldn't be able to try.
Yeah.
But right now it's an auto success move, right?
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Um so we probably want to name it
Ooh.
something to do with the auto success.
I don't want to call it like pulling up from the bootstraps or something like that,
No.
but something like I like
I feel like you could always be like I always win eventually or something. Oops, I closed the spreadsheet.
This is how I roll. No.
Um
So if anybody in chat has any thoughts as we're going through this sort of stuff, as we're thinking, if you have any like cool poetic or quirky or quippy ideas for names, feel free to throw those out there. And we might actually use one of them for the game, which is really Jack of all trades.
I think we need to get rid of that because I think that's tying us to certain ideas that we don't need to be tied to.
Yes.
So, like the move right now, when you do something that you've never attempted with no regards for the consequences, describe how you pull it off, then roll with the questions. Is failure dire? Do you have transferable skills? Have you watched someone else pull this off? On a 7 to 9, you choose 2. On a 10 plus 1. On a 13 plus, you pull it off with purpose, determination, and or panache. On a miss, choose all. Your actions upset or offend someone watching. You bring harm upon yourself or someone else. You are deeper entangled in the situation. You introduce new complicating factors. So
hold my beer. No.
oh my. that's not bad.
I mean, it's got that same sort of like feel to it, right?
Yeah, I would like something a bit more generic, but that's a perfect like placeholder
I know.
for the theme we're going for.
Here, watch this.
Yeah, watch this is a good one. That was actually what I was thinking as well.
Yeah. I like watch this.
Yeah.
With an ellipses at the end.
Yeah.
I think that sounds good.
Oh, in other words, like I told you I could do it.
Mm-hmm. I like watch this right now.
Yeah, watch this works.
Yeah.
I think. All
right. So now we're down to so we've got 4 additional moves for almost every archetype, right? And so we've got 3 of them defined right now. One of them is Trick of the Light. When you attempt an act of skill to deceive someone, roll with relaxed. On a hit, your deception has its intended effect. On a 10 plus, it opens up a new opportunity. Then there's Tough It Out. This one is just kind of when you roll to brace yourself in a conflict, instead of choosing from the list, you can hold 1 or 2 on a 10 plus. Okay, so you can hold 1 or 2 on a 10 plus.
yeah.
I'm wondering if we should make that more clear.
Yeah, I think instead of choosing from the set, yeah, I think it can be more clear. You can hold.
So when we go to brace yourself, let me pull up the basic moves. Where are my basic moves? I've got it somewhere here. No. Okay, let me open the basic moves. Genre moves, Chimera moves, core rules, basic moves. There it is. Okay. All right, perfect. Just going to pop those in here. So this states, brace yourself. When you need to brace yourself against an immediate threat, you roll with conditions marked. On a 10 plus, choose 1. On a 7 to 9, choose 1. So I would say we could change this to be instead of choosing from the list, on a 7 to 9, hold 1. On a 10 plus, hold 2.
From the list, instead of a 7 to on a 7 to 9.
Oh, I do like how this is optional too.
Yeah.
You can list on a 7 to 9. You can hold 1.
I got it.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Instead of choosing from the list, you roll a brace. Instead of choosing the list, pick 1, or on a 10 plus, pick 2.
I'm gonna end the sentence because it just started running on. So on a 10 plus, pick 2 instead.
Yeah.
Pick 2. Hold. Sorry, hold. No, pick.
Yeah, hold 2.
2
or 1. So what this is eventually doing is you brace yourself effectively during a combat and
deal with the consequences after.
Deal with them afterwards. So it allows you to keep up a bit, but then my goodness, it can really mess things up.
I feel like we should actually put something in, like if you explicitly hold, like if you hold conditions, like if you hold 2 and then like take the conditions after or something. I don't know.
I think can we limit the amount of hold that they can hold in this?
See, we could. It depends what we want from it, because like on the one hand we definitely can, on the other hand we could say like if you end up with more than a certain amount of hold, it is bad.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we could. Let's limit it, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I don't want them to keep on hitting this move every single time they brace themselves. So instead we can say, if you have 3 or 4 hold, what's a good maximum for this type of thing?
3 or 4. 4 seems good because then you could get 2 maxes.
Yeah.
Oh, most combats aren't going to last long enough for you to hold 4, which is fine.
Which is fine. I mean, using it twice and getting hurt pretty bad at the end of it is pretty decent.
We could also just say you can't take more hold until
the conflict,
until you spend them.
Until you spend them. Okay. So this move will trigger once if you choose to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, how about this actually? So on a 10 plus you can hold 2. You must spend that hold 1-1 on the following any time you want, or you can spend that hold and 1-1 on the following anytime you want, but must spend it at the end of the combat. Spend the remaining hold, so you can get rid of it early if you want to keep it.
Oh.
You can't roll this move while you have hold. Okay, we might need some rewording, but let me just get this on paper so we can see it. There we go.
Okay, that's big. Okay, so I think I'll just expand this right away.
Let's do that.
And pop that down there, and let's hope this doesn't break what you're doing.
Nope.
Okay, there
So,
we go.
Well, you have. Perfect.
All right.
So unless we want to edit any of the wording, we should.
Can't roll this move while you have hold. You can spend that hold 1-1 on the following anytime you want, but must spend the remaining hold at the end of combat. Okay. Yeah. Because that's like effectively letting off steam during combat, or just getting into a position where you feel like you can mark 2 conditions or whatever, right? So toughing it out in the meantime. I like it. Okay, and then the next one was I know a guy. So this is when you try to find someone that can help in a specific situation. Roll with logical. On a hit, you know someone who can help. Describe your relationship. On a 10+, things are as you remember. On a 7 to 9, the GM will tell you how things have changed. So that's not too bad.
Perfect. So now we just need the interpersonal move for the survivor.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, this is more party facing.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm thinking too. So is this like an assist sort of deal? Is this a like an enhanced like aid your allies?
That's the question. So like Protector has inspired, Learned has the passing on knowledge, Devout has a mix. You know, Wander has Wander doesn't
really have an interpersonal one, right?
Yeah.
But that kind of fits the theme of kind of being somebody that doesn't hold on to friends long.
Yeah.
Somebody who travels and keeps on their own.
Perhaps it might be worth re-examining and putting one in that like has to do with how they're with their travels and whatnot. But
yeah,
now I think it's fine.
or whatever. This stream is recorded for 14 days, so I can go back and figure out exactly what you just said. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm looking like it's possible that Time to Reign on Your Parade and World Traveler could get grouped in a way. Because as much as I love the name Time to Reign on Your Parade, a scene and get an advantage is probably the weakest in the playbook mechanically.
That's fair. Yep. It does reveal some interesting stuff about the character, though.
We could combine it with World Traveler, where it's when someone or some place important is mentioned or encounter, you can establish a prior relationship with them.
Oh yeah. So I need to expand World Traveler so far.
Oh yeah.
I think one more make it look better. Yeah, that looks better.
Like we could once per session when someone or some place important is mentioned or encountered, you may establish a prior relationship with it. Then yeah, if you do, roll with optimistic on a 10 plus. State how it's better than you remember.
Yeah, we could rework the hit mechanics there, to better fit person or place. And if we're, I mean, really,
Voila.
yeah.
Someone or some place important encountered, you may establish a relationship with it. If you do, roll with optimistic. A label, narrative label that reflects your relationship.
Oh, I like that.
There we go. Previous. Your previous, that's the word.
Mm-hmm. I like it. We're going a little off script here, people, but
yep, we're going off script. We're doing rogue game design now.
Rogue game design, yep.
All right. Well.
So that leaves room for an interpersonal move. You don't have to.
Yeah, and I will rename that.
Okay.
For now.
New move. And I don't know if we want to explore like give an advantage when that knowledge is relevant or not in the new one, or just leave it as is. Maybe on a 13 plus.
I think it's fine. I don't think none of the side moves really have 13 plus. I don't think we want to do that.
Well, some of them do, but not all of them.
Yeah. These moves already got
kind of sprinkling them around here and there.
Yeah. But most don't.
Nice, delicious 13 pluses. For those that are not aware of the dice system in Chimera, we use a blend of between D4s and D10s. You pick two different dice or two of the same as long as they're not 2D4 or 2D10 for your attributes. And then advantage will step one of those dice up to the next spot. So if it's a D8, it'll step up to a D10. And disadvantage will step one of your dice down for the roll. So if it's like a D6, it'll go down to a D4. So the lowest you could ever roll is 2D4, which a max roll on that is an 8 without assistance, and that's by design. So the best you can do is a partial success if you're rolling 2D4. And then there is the highest is with advantage is 2D10, which you can get up to 20 on that. And that's pretty sweet. So rolling 13 plus, you have to be rolling at least a D6 plus a D8 to get that without assistance. I don't know why I have logical checked on there. That's okay. All right. So back to the interpersonal move. So this is a survivor. Is this like a move to help somebody out of a bind, or?
That could be an interesting one. I'm looking. Maybe something like
This is probably the toughest part.
yeah.
Just like what's the concept of this move that we're trying to craft?
I'm just trying to look at like what are some other ones because I don't want to. I'd like to see what directions we're headed with them, but maybe take it in a unique route.
Yeah.
We can get through anything is maybe what I'm thinking is the name.
Ooh, I like that.
I'm trying to decide if it's an assist your team buff or an aid your allies buff or an entirely separate move.
I like this doesn't have a thing for getting fellowship back, right? No, they don't have a
No.
move for fellowship restoration. So let's make this move that can restore some fellowship to the fellowship
To be
pool.
to be fair, a lot of the playbooks don't have something for fellowship explicitly.
Don't they?
Protector doesn't.
Hmm.
That might be something to examine. We don't
Yeah.
use fellowship enough, actually.
Yeah, we need to implement that a bit more.
Yeah. Right now, fellowship mostly comes from at the end of session move or specific moves.
Mm-hmm. I know let's see, the Devout has a fellowship pool additional thing. The Bound does not, because
The Vow has 2, but that's it in fantasy.
yeah.
So that might be something to consider for 0.8.
Yeah.
Is either integrating. I think generally taking a look at the fellowship mechanic might be something to do for 0.8. I like where we brought it to, but
Yeah.
it never. If we're gonna be integrating more,
I think that's a good idea. Well, we can craft this survivor move to be. I do like the name. We can get through anything.
yeah. Maybe it's when you assist when you assist a teammate despite or not teammate when you assist a friend when you assist your friends despite overwhelming odds count as if you're spending 2 points of fellowship or something.
Oh, so you think this might be a spend a point to spend 2 points effectively?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Also, okay, just an idea to write down somewhere since you have notes for 0.8 potentially.
Yeah, we'll say I do.
I mean, you wrote some stuff down right now, so you have more notes than I do.
I know, that's very true.
I was thinking maybe like, what if potentially we add some moves that give different ways if we want to make the fellowship points more like useful and important. Different moves that give different ways to spend the fellowship points in some capacity. That isn't just with assists, but rather like you actively spend it to do a thing for a friend.
Oh,
Worth considering.
Yeah.
Anyways, but we could go.
I will write that down in my nice little notebook. Okay.
Maybe. Ooh. Suffer the like when you assist your allies despite overwhelming odds, count as if you like spent 2 fellowship points or even 3, but suffer the consequences of a miss no matter what.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Personally suffer the consequences of a miss no matter what.
Okay. So you might succeed, but that could get messy.
Yeah.
I can see that getting messy. Like narratively messy, I mean.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's like, oh, we did it, yay! Oh, but our survivor kind of bit the dust.
Yeah.
But I like kind of where you're going with that. Maybe we could just bake in a consequence instead of just suffer the miss.
Yeah, maybe a specific consequence. Okay.
Maybe select a consequence from the list or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe select a consequence from the list or something like that. Maybe select a consequence from the list or something like that. Maybe select a consequence from the list or something like that. Maybe select a consequence from the list or something like that. Maybe select a consequence from the list or something like that. Maybe select a consequence from the list or something like that. Maybe select a consequence from the list or something like that. Maybe select a consequence from the list or something like that. Maybe select a consequence from the list or something like that. Maybe select a consequence from the list or something like that. Maybe select a consequence from the list or something like that. Maybe select a consequence from the list or something like that. Maybe select a consequence from the list or something like that. Maybe select a consequence from the list or something like that. Maybe select a consequence from the list or something like that. Maybe select a consequence from the list or something like that. Maybe select a consequence
Yeah. Okay.
Because I think we could do spend 1 fellowship, and treat it as 2.
Yeah.
Normally, but you could do spend 1 fellowship and count it as 3 if you take one of these consequences.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that could be really interesting.
Okay. So hold on. When facing overwhelming odds, you can you can assist your allies by spending 1 fellowship point and counting it. You by count your aid as 2 fellowship points by only spending 1. You can instead count it as 3 if you pick 1 from below.
Yeah.
It needs It needs some rewording. I don't like the count your aid as 2 fellowship points by only spending 1. I'm not sure how to word that perfectly right now.
I get what you're saying though. You can instead count it as 3 if you pick from one of the consequences below. Let's see. So facing overwhelming odds, you put on a brave face, but in inner turmoil persists, market condition.
Yeah, you put on put on a brave face, but it wasn't without cost, market condition. I'm trying to think whatever consequence, because we could always make it market condition, but the question is market condition enough, or is this something big enough for like Mark II conditions?
That's what I was wondering too. Those are big ones, big lines. I don't want that. And up above. Sounds good.
So let me see. Because I know Math has some that word it like this that we might be able to lift some wording from. I'm looking at it now.
It's not like we haven't done that before.
Got it. So it's no, because mask is straightforward. You give them a +2 instead of a +1.
Yeah.
Which doesn't work considering our assist is a bit more complex. Count your aid as 2 fellowship points. Instead of 1 spent from the pool. All right. And it's free if you pick 1 consequence from below instead.
Yeah. So assist your allies, for those that are curious, is a basic move. So when you receive assistance, so this is a move that augments other moves. This is basically like I'm going to give you a +1 effectively that a lot of other systems do for assistance. So there's a fellowship pool that everybody pools their fellowship points together on. And when you assist, you take 1 point from the pool for every ally that is assisting and add them to any points from other effects. And you must spend it on the current roll as per the list below. Right? And then if there's 1 point in that assist your allies pool, then you can add +1 to your roll. If there's 2 points, you can either add +2, I guess, or take advantage or remove a disadvantage. And then 3 points, you can actually choose an extra option from your move, or mitigate the consequences of the move, or mitigate a consequence of the move. Which I really like the 3-pointer one. I don't think it really comes up that often.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people might choose just to add +3. And I don't know if we want to change that at all. down the road.
You must spend it on the current lore. You can't pick. Maybe you can't pick an option more than once.
Oh. That could be interesting, but... Huh. But then I can see 2 people helping, right?
Yeah.
And then what are you going to do? You're going to take advantage or add +1 to your roll, and then one of the help.
Well, yeah. In
lost.
that case, you only ask for one if you only need one, right?
Right.
You don't have to spend both.
That's true.
And I also split it up like that because then that way you can turn a roll from disadvantage to advantage with a +4 of health.
Oh, that makes sense.
If you really wanted to.
That seems expensive, though.
It does. I don't think it comes up super often, but
I wonder if for 1 point you could remove disadvantage. That could be pretty powerful, though. It's something to think about, at least. I think we just...
No, because disadvantage is -2, so that's the same as... That's why the +1 is 1 point.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah. All right. I think that should be more... Yeah, okay. I think that looks good for us history allies.
Cool.
Yeah, I think we just had a hiccup in my internet, so if the stream paused there for a second, I apologize.
Also, apparently you have some protected sheets on this stuff.
Do I?
Yeah.
I've got some hidden sheets, but those are just... ooh, I want to see... okay, Survivor Old. Who wants to see the old character sheet? This is what it used to look like. It was...
All right. Do we need the old ones still on this sheet, or should we start moving them out?
I was going to start deleting them out, but
I feel like it's going to add some.
I kind of left it for prosperity for now.
Yeah. I mean, we have the 0.6 still, right?
We do. We do have backups upon backups upon backups, but
yeah.
I don't know, I think it's kind of fun to show off the old ones. So this was where it was, and then that turned into something that's much nicer. No.
Yeah. They really have improved.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
back to the move.
All right. So marking a condition. Do we want to make that 2 conditions? Because this is 3 extra points.
Here's a fun idea.
Yeah.
Unless we have some specific ideas for what we want the consequences to be that are unique, we could say brace yourself as if you or treat act as if you rolled a 10+ on a brace yourself.
Oh, okay.
Because then we save ourselves the trouble of typing stuff out, and if you wanted, you could couple it with tough it out.
Oh yeah.
And then you got some inside playbook synergy going on.
If you have both.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes you think. I like it.
Well, so that gets rid of, instead of the options, is what I'm saying. Is the unless we have specific options we want here, but I don't know if we have anything. Like,
do we have more?
Do you have something specific in mind?
Not really. I just like lists. I just like lists.
I like lists too, but if we don't got anything for the list, I feel like we have a nice list with brace yourself.
Yeah, that sounds good. Instead, count it as 3. If you brace yourself as if you rolled a 10+.
Yeah.
So I'll change that quick.
Cool. That perfect, and we have a move.
And then I can just delete all this stuff down here. And to do that, I will just do some fancy formatting. And then I need a lower border here with a small line.
Also, I know a guy and Time to Rain on Your Parade are very similar.
They do seem similar now, don't they? Yeah, because I was reading that as well, and I was like, this seems familiar.
It they're different triggers, right?
Yeah.
But I do want. I think Time to Rain on Your Parade works as is.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense that the Wanderer would be the one who would have that move. If we want to keep the Survivor as being able to acquire stuff, maybe it's not about knowing a specific someone.
Yeah. Knowing how to get a specific something.
Yeah, maybe it's knowing how to acquire things. You don't necessarily need to know the person beforehand. Whereas the Wanderers is about knowing people ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've traveled. The Survivors can be about, even if you don't have those connections, you know how to
get them.
Yeah.
I like that. So let's put a comment on that for now. We could probably change the name too, but I mean the name kind of fits that sort of feel as well. Because even if you don't know a guy, you can figure out how to know somebody to do that. You're probably the type that would say, "Yeah, I know somebody. I'll figure it out." So change this move to...
Okay, when you try to acquire an item or connection to overcome an obstacle.
Ooh, what's happening now?
What?
We're going off script.
Yeah, we're going off script. Let's get as much done as we're going through it, right?
Yeah, might as well.
So when you try to acquire an item or connection to overcome an obstacle.
Yep, I like rolling with logical still.
Yeah.
Okay. On a hit, you know someone who can help. Describe your...
Yeah, so I don't want to describe your... That part's gone. It's not about the relationship you already have.
It's not about that.
On a hit, you find someone... you find just what you need.
Yep.
On a 10 plus...
Well, the 7...
Oh, I got it. On a 10 plus, you can either get it without cost, or it does everything you need. Everything you need and more.
Oh, okay.
So you choose. You can either get it for free and this is what you want. On a miss, just what you need. Yeah, but you still need to gain possession of it. Miss.
Yeah, because the miss needs to be narratively interesting in this.
Yeah, so I think on a miss, the cost is steep. I don't want it to be worded like that, but that's like the cost is steep.
Yeah.
Or like the item is uncertain. I want better wording for that, but I'm just gonna put those down as the like.
Yeah.
Then you can. So this is what I got so far, just so I can hit enter and you can see.
So okay, so on a hit you find just what you need, but you still need to gain possession of it. On a 10 plus, you can either get it without cost, or it does everything you need and more. On a miss, the cost is steep or the item is uncertain. Okay, so yeah, we will put a comment on there to reword to gooder English. There we go.
Gooder English, yes. That is really demonstrating our design prowess for the masses.
Exactly. I was actually going to use regular English there, but that's okay. I don't care. So watch this, moves over there, and then I'm going to pop these down here. Here we go. Now that's all set. Intense emotions, jack of all trades changes to watch this. Etc. etc. Roll it normally if you don't have the move. Yeah.
You can get it.
And I think we can change the move to let me handle it.
For watch this?
No, for I know a guy.
Oh yeah, let me handle it.
Or whatever.
I've got it covered.
Oh, I've got it covered. I like that better.
Yeah. Let me handle it. Push me in that direction of thought.
There you go. That's why
All
we're a
right.
team.
Cool.
Good English. Perfect.
All right. So continuing off script, we have added a move to the Wanderer that we need to do now.
Hey, we did it. So the Survivor, interpersonal move added. That means the fantasy genre is
No. We added a interpersonal move to the Wanderer now that we have to do.
What?
We went off script. Remember?
Oh, we did. Oh no. Okay, so now we are Wanderer. Interpersonal move. Here we go. I just updated our agenda, so that should change any second now. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna get rid of this bad formatting for time to rain on your parade. There we go. Get rid of that there. So this is an interpersonal move for the Wanderer.
All right, let's see if we can. Okay, so they have one that I feel like travel stories has to be it, right?
Yeah. Like campfire stories of sorts.
Yeah, campfire stories. When you share a story you think someone needs to hear.
Ooh.
All right, yeah. Let's start. Are you ready, Nicole? When you tell someone a story you think they need to hear. I don't know why I bolded that. Roll with. Roll with something. Probably relaxed or optimistic.
I think relaxed sounds really good. Because especially if you're thinking about like the campfire story motif.
Yeah.
Where you're just relaxing into it.
Yeah. Roll with relaxed. The question is this an existing move or is it an entirely new move?
There we go. When you tell someone a story that, yeah, why is that bold? Oh my goodness.
Roll with relaxed. On a hit, the moral comes through clearly. They take advantage forward when acting on it. Mark, what do we call our experience? Experience?
Just XP, yeah.
Cool. Mark XP if they find their own way. I'm
gonna add some fellowship to this too on a 10+ maybe.
Yeah, that makes sense. Add a fellowship point to the pool. There's something more missing from the 10+, but that's what we got so far.
Okay. Oops. I moved the wrong window down. There we go. Okay, I like that. I put in a tentative name of Gather Around and Hear My Tale. But I'm open to other suggestions.
Oh, say that again.
Gather around and hear my tale. I put that as the name of it.
That's fun. That's fun. Yeah.
All right. Whoops.
Oh no, that's
that was supposed to be holding in the control button. But that did not work out the way I wanted it to.
I think the move itself still needs a bit more than the 10 plus. Like just adding a fellowship point is weak, in my opinion.
Right. So this is take advantage forward. Here, let me unboldify this trigger. Oh, why can't I? Is my control key just not working? There we go. Roll with relaxed. On a hit, moral comes through clearly. They take advantage forward, which should be bold when acting upon it, or mark XP.
Maybe a clear condition.
Clear condition and add a fellowship to the pool.
Yeah. The question is, do you clear or do they clear? I think they clear, right?
Yeah. They may clear condition and add +1 point to the fellowship pool to keep our naming standards intact. All right, bolding that. There we go. That looks better.
I don't see anything.
What?
You have to hit enter.
I did hit enter.
I don't see anything.
Well, I don't know. Did it copy over to the other side?
Oh, there it is. Now it's there.
Hey. Come on, Google. Get your act together.
Okay, cool. Wanderer is good. We can move on from this genre.
All right. So I'm going to check that off. Wow, look at that. We just finished the fantasy genre.
Woo!
Like finished for version 0.7 the fantasy genre. That's really cool. All right, that feels really good.
Yeah, it does.
So the next one should be relatively easy, I think.
Also hold up.
So how's everyone doing in chat?
Now we're finished.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Mm-hmm. We got a few things to kind of do, but it's just a couple things on 2 different playbooks, and that's pretty nice.
As long as we don't go off script again, we should be on good time.
That's very true. Okay. So the mask. We need to double check the signature move, double check changes to additional move, and write a my work here is done move.
Cool. So the old one's on the right and you made the new one on the left?
The left one is the correct one, I think.
Cool. Well,
okay, so let's look at the signature move first. Curtain call, right?
Yep.
So it used to be symbolic weapons, and you obtain this move, select a thing you often use as a weapon, blah, 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 blah. Right. Now it says when you obtain this move, select a symbolic item that identifies you. This can be a rose, a playing card, anything small and unorthodox, etc. While transformed, you have an unlimited supply of these magical items, and it is known to all that these symbolize your mask persona. And then you get to define it. When you make an entrance into a scene by letting your symbolic item announce your presence, roll with questions. The questions are, does it look like emotions are running high? Are you trying to protect someone in dire need of assistance? Are you entering in a dramatic fashion? And then on a hit, you steal the attention of those in the scene, creating a critical opportunity for your allies or protecting them from immediate danger. On a 10+, your companions are inspired by your appearance and rally, add +2 to the fellowship pool. On a 13+, you make an impression on one of your allies, they may clear a condition.
I'm cool with it.
Cool.
Yeah, it looks good. I like did you enter the battle at point when hope seems lost, but this allows them to enter earlier, which I think is more fun for an RPG.
Mm-hmm.
So this is good.
Yeah, and it also I thought about you can use it in like completely different circumstances as well, like social circumstances. And I'm thinking even like you may not have unlimited of the items, but you might have one or so when you're outside of your mask persona, right?
Yeah.
And if you lay that down on a table, like that could be a pretty dramatic sort of
Yeah.
scene. So then we've got default move or additional moves. I'm helping. So I think a lot of the fantasy archetypes don't have default moves. Some of them do. I don't think we looked at them this stream, but some archetypes do have default moves.
Most don't in fantasy. I think.
I know the bound does. The devote might. Yeah, the devout might. The devout defines their source as a default move.
Yeah.
The bound has a default move for their pact. So that's there, and then.
But I think for the bound is yeah, it's separate from their signature move.
Yes,
So,
yes,
yeah.
that's why it's a default. Because even as a secondary, you get it because it defines kind of who your character is.
Yep. Makes sense.
But then all of the magical girls have a default transformation sequence move that they get regardless if it's primary or secondary. And each one is slightly different because you have to add a detail as you're transforming to represent what the playbook embodies, right?
Yeah.
So for the mask, it's represents your mask, not your symbolic weapon. We got to change that.
Cool. So let's take a look here. I'm helping you. My word. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Do we want to go over the other additional question or the other additional move before we get to my work here is done? Just to double check that and cross it off the list.
Which was the original question?
A most dramatic entrance. So this one, whenever you use your senses in order to find the best way to join a scene, you may ask one of the following questions, even on a miss. Utilizing this information to enter a scene gives you advantage forward in that scene. And on a 13 plus, you may ask 2 of these questions instead.
I'm gonna clarify because one of my least favorite thing in PvT games about how big it's addition to the normal results. There.
Oh yes, thank you.
Because there's always the question of, does that mean on a miss you get to ask one, but on a hit it counts from your normal spends or not? And it's like, no, in addition to the normal results.
Yes, absolutely. So, and then we had 3 questions before. What is the most dramatic entrance point, which stayed the same? Who here might spot me making my escape to transform? That one changed. And then is there anything here that I can grab to help with my entrance? That one stayed the same. So the one I changed was the middle question to what is the entrance point that is easiest to get to undetected?
I think that works. I think this is great.
Yeah, so I think that makes the move a little bit more useful. Makes it more useful outside of like combat situations, I guess.
Yeah,
because you can join the scene dramatically, and also outside of transformation.
Be a future kid.
Yeah. So remove the So, and added the 13 plus on there. Yeah, I think that works out really well.
Cool. And so now we need to do my work here is done.
Yep.
I mean, so obviously it has to be about leaving the scene in some form.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the deal, right? Even if you kind of didn't do anything, which is what this playbook's kind of all about. Like not doing anything, but it technically is doing things.
Yeah.
Is this like something that leaves a lasting impression on the group?
Yeah.
Ooh. I wonder. Let me check these other moves quick. Rolling to defend your friends. Okay. I'm helping. Is roll with a hit your. This adds fellowship to the pool, and then advantage forward. I was thinking, like, when you that would kind of feel like the one that we just did. I was thinking about like when you leave the scene, you can like spend a free, or when you assist your allies while you're leaving the scene. You can assist with 1 free point, in addition to.
No.
No.
No, not really feeling that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
There's definitely other
Maybe
things.
maybe it's a roll plus questions to aid your allies when you leave the scene.
Ooh.
So like, or maybe it's not necessarily aid your allies. It's gonna be like, we're gonna have to type it out from scratch because I think it's gonna be a modification. But like, I'm thinking something like, when you leave the scene after a conflict, or when you announce your departure.
Yeah, I like that better.
After a conflict, roll with questions. I'm just looking for the exact wording. Roll with questions. Okay.
Oh yeah, I think I know where you're going with this, and I like it.
And the questions are, can you get me some question boxes, please?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hold on. Pop them right down here.
I think the questions are, did you make your allies feel confident or something like that? Like, did you bolster your allies' confidence?
During the conflict?
Confidence during the conflict, yeah.
I like this whole like this is a move that you kind of need to play to during the whole conflict, to get bonuses on it, which really kind of pushes the role play in a really interesting direction.
I feel like the third question has to be, are you returning as a different self? Like, I want to, like, if you're transformed, are you returning as you're non-transformed, or if you're untransformed, are you returning as you're.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the perfect wording for it. Are you returning as your alternate identity?
Yeah.
Like
that.
Because that's like, my work here's done, and then suddenly you show up again. And it's like, oh,
hey, what did they miss? What's going on? For those that are not in the know on this playbook, this character is a magical girl character. If you're familiar with Sailor Moon, it was modeled after Tuxedo Mask, of course. And this character starts the game where nobody on the team knows your true identity both ways. So you have to reveal that throughout play. So you're just kind of like this mysterious figure that swoops in, the masked superhero. Hi, how are you? And then you transform, and then you're this masked superhero, and then you transform back, and now you're just mundane person, and nobody on the team in game knows that you're both the same people. Plus you have the illusion of helping, pretty much whether you're transformed or not.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we need one more questions, which I think is probably did you confess your feelings during the conflict? Or express maybe might be better.
Yeah. Did you express your emotions during the conflict? I like that.
Okay. That's one too many. All right, and then after, I'm gonna copy that down there. We need some more. All right.
What
perfect.
are we doing?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh my. Okay.
You're breaking something here. Hold on.
I'm breaking a lot of things.
Hold on.
Oh.
Control Z that a couple times.
I did. No, that's fine.
No, you added an extra line in there.
Yeah, I know.
That's not good.
Oh, is that not good?
No, that breaks everything.
Okay.
Here, let me fix it.
I did.
There we go. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So, let me. This is a 5-liner. We want a 4-liner. Okay, I see what you're doing. You want to add a little thingy at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'll let you handle.
I got you covered. Don't worry.
Cool.
There you go.
And we also need to like fix the formatting of the top half because that's like 6 lines too many.
Oh yeah. All right, let me fix that. I was like, wait, why aren't we adding more things there? Because that's not how the format works for Roll with Questions, folks. Okay, none left and right with a thing. Okay, what's broken here? There's something broken here. Okay. And character sheet layout is so difficult.
Something like this.
Okay. Let me fix where that goes. There we go. And then I want to add +1 to the fellowship pool. And boldify that. There we go.
Cool.
I like it. On a hit, any ally who reacts by revealing their feelings about you or what just happened can clear a condition or add +1 to the fellowship pool. On a 7 to 9, reveal a piece of your dual identity or lay the seeds for further conflict. That's spicy. I like it.
Yeah. It makes it a more like powerful aid your allies.
Yeah.
But with a specific situation.
Mm-hmm. All right. Then I'm going to move these other 2 moves up a tad. And I hope this doesn't. Yeah, it did, didn't it? Okay. There, and then this one up here can go down there. I think that finishes the mask, right?
Yeah, that finishes Magical Girls.
That finishes Magical Girls. We just finished 2 whole genres.
Yeah, but those were the easy ones.
I know, those were the... yeah. Buckle up, everyone, because we're about to redesign 2 full playbooks.
Ooh, nothing bad could ever happen from this.
No. So now we got our mental muscles built up a bit. We'll consider that stretching.
Yep.
So we stretched the mental muscles. We've got our brains primed for what is ultimately the hardest endeavor. 2 superhero playbooks completely redesigned from their previous iterations. After that, we can cleanse ourselves with finishing up the GM moves.
Yeah.
That should be pretty easy. And then any Q&A with everybody out there. So I'm going to save our agenda. Watch that thing shrink a little bit. And let's go to our first superhero. What do you want to tackle first, the anomaly or the outcast?
Let's go in order. Let's keep going. That's been working for us. Let's do anomaly.
The anomaly. Okay, so I love the art that Chase made for this character.
Yeah.
It looks to be a female presenting individual with looks like crystalline arm and leg, and a little bit on their face. It's just really sweet. So this is kind of like the transformed from masks. There's also the ability to be like an android robot type here. Could be an alien whose primary story is not trying to get back home, but struggling with their identity as an alien in this world, being the only person of their type here, right? So the anomaly is ultimately a playbook about someone struggling. I don't know if struggling is the right word, but feeling, trying to reconcile their feelings about who they are, effectively, right?
Yeah. I think right now the issue is all the moves seem to be basically from like the created playbook we used to have.
It is 100% exactly right. So
and also,
yeah,
I'm okay with most of these moves not making it.
Yeah, I'm exactly in the same place. I don't think there was anything salvageable here.
No.
Yeah. Goodbye.
We'll keep it on the right side in case we need anything.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing too. I'm gonna pop those check marks back in just for the sake of having them there. And I'll pop that over from a different playbook. Let's go for the hopeful.
What are you doing?
I'm just getting the green check mark back. Okay, so also we want to look at maybe abilities, but I like the abilities, I think, except for maybe enhanced animal traits. I'm not really sure.
Yeah. Any extraordinary movement, invulnerable, immortal body weapon.
So the thing about abilities in Chimera is they're all open to interpretation, right? You get to add your own flavor to what these mean to you. So like immortal could be you're immune to disease or you'll never die, or maybe you're a vampire.
Or maybe you're like an AI who can keep going to other bodies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so there's all sorts of different possibilities with that.
How does that replacement look?
Borrowed traits. Maybe.
Let's see.
Kind of see that working. When I would read that, I would probably think of it as being able to borrow traits of things around you,
which could be an option. Let's see. What did we put it in?
And also, most playbooks that we have, most archetypes that we have, are here's something you get as an ability base and choose 2 from the list. This one is just choose 3. Do we want that to be the case, or do we want to have it be define an ability of your own and choose 2 below?
Interesting. Okay. That's possible. Let's see. I'm thinking. Let's start with like what do we want to focus in on with this draft of the playbook?
Let's see. So we're thinking, let's see. So we need, like, the abilities themselves are mostly okay. The amount of variety of things that could fit this archetype is kind of makes this kind of a unique archetype in that regards, right? Because I think like the way that we have the superheroes now, you could have a team of androids, you could have a team of aliens, you could have a team of mutants, or like the X-Men, right? But the fact that you are those things doesn't define your character, right? Yeah. This archetype, it kind of does, right?
Yes.
Because this is the archetype that is kind of trying to find a place in society. But not like necessarily to the extent that the Outcast is. This is probably why these are our final 2 playbooks.
So I think the way I see it is the Anomaly is more about the internal aspect of it, whereas the Outcast is more about the external aspect of it.
Yeah, I think that's a good angle to go on.
So the Anomaly focuses on you and your own feelings of uniqueness and or not fitting in or not belonging, whereas the Outcast is about how society perceives you.
Yep.
And as far as you know, unique to only you. Define it here, then pick 2 from below. All right, how about this?
Okay. Yeah, I think we can format that a little better.
Yes, I would agree.
Okay, I got it. If you don't mind.
Yep, I'm up. It's all yours.
All right, cool. Define it here, and then pick 2 from below, and then I will squish this together a little bit.
Oh no! What have you done?
Don't worry. Don't worry.
Yeah,
I got you. And then push that there.
Gotcha.
And then I want to do this a little bit. Okay. Maybe one more. Oh, come on. I know. You need to give me some space here. Come on, Google. It doesn't feel like enough. I wish you could do like combined cells that weren't just rectangles.
Yeah, like make an L shape.
Yeah. Come on, I want some Tetris shapes in my Excel, please.
Yeah, right. Come on, Excel, get it together.
Get it together, Excel. Come on. Okay. Well, I guess I can just it's gonna be annoying. Okay. No, I need no in there, don't I? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I just put a. Okay.
I got it.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I see you. 3 rectangles.
Yep.
Come on, Excel.
Come on, Excel. There we go. This is what I used to do on the old things here. No, I need that extra one, don't I? I split it up so nicely, but there are times when I wish I had double the columns too. But I don't want to rip my hair out with that many columns.
Yeah.
Because that would effectively double the cells in these playbooks.
Nope.
And then if you have 4 genres at that point, in the whole playbook area, you're talking about maybe about 40 different archetypes. And then you would run into space or cell limitations, which I've already run into in actually this thing. That's why some old character sheets don't exist anymore. I've already deleted a few. So define it here. That's fine. We'll put a little border on the bottom. There we go. All right. So define it here. In addition, pick 2 from below. I like that. Messy, but that's okay. How about instead of borrowed traits, what about like mimicry?
How about mimicry? Oh, okay, mimicry's fun. Yeah, that takes it a different route. I'm cool with that.
Am I spelling that right? Mimicry. Okay, yeah, that's what that's what the captioning said. Mimicry. Okay, I like that. Because then it can mimic whatever, right? And I've seen plenty of superhero like there was one on Young Justice, an android that could mimic other powers and stuff like that.
That works. Cool.
Which was a brutal villain.
Alright, let me quickly take a look at what I've been doing for
Yeah, I don't know why I have. I think who helped you experience something you never understood before might be a good relationship question.
Yeah, that I think works perfectly. I would agree.
So I'll pop that over there. Also the old playbook that this was originally based off of, the creation, I think still states true in this playbook. Being able to play a clone of somebody.
Yeah.
Which I have seen at least once in playtesting that has worked really effectively.
Nice.
They played a clone of a fallen teammate.
All right. Give me a second.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at some other question.
And then I think after we're done with the backstory and relationships, we can take a short break.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay.
That's fine.
So that'll be a good time for those in the audience. If you I want to think up any questions while we are away. Feel free to think those up, pop them in the chat while we're gone. Should work out fine. Fine. I'm just unmuting the stream for a second and listening to the nice piano music. Stream for a second and.
Okay. I also think most of the superhero playbooks might actually need some look at their backstory questions. Not today, but I think I need to.
I think that's a good idea.
But for now, let's focus on the ones we're looking at here.
Yeah.
Okay, the anomaly. Let's go to Survivor because it has my. I'm gonna just copy these over real quick.
Yeah.
I'm just copying over questions from the Survivor to have as a template to stare at for a second.
Yeah, there you go.
See, I like both of those, but I think they're both very similar.
That's true.
I think one of the things that's like kind of been the angle is one that's like friendly and emotional and deep, and one that's sort of conflicty or conflict adjacent.
Okay.
Not always, not all of them, but
Mm-hmm.
having one that's close and personal and one that adds some plot hooks.
Yeah, that's true.
Or kind of like reveals the or they reveal the sort of dichotomy in the character. Like for the devout, it was who strengthens your faith and who would you betray your faith for.
Yep.
Which is sort of like the core struggle of the character. You've never understood before. Understood by actually, hold on.
This is the heavy thinking portion
of
the story.
This is where we get into the deep. All right. I'm gonna take a look at one other playbook real quick. Never know your identity. Okay, so the anomaly.
My brain is almost to something about who knows or who has a clue to your past, and do they know it?
That's kind of what I could. It's a similar direction to where I went.
Who has bound themselves to your uniqueness? Who knows this? Okay. Little clunky.
Yeah.
Slevs. I'll change that. How about who is bound to your uniqueness, and do they know this?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So.
I changed it slightly.
Okay. Ooh, I like that. Okay. And then for the team question, we can fix that too if we need to. But I don't know if we need to. Currently, it says when we first worked together as a team, what did we do as a team that personified the group in the eyes of the onlookers? So in a lot of superhero stories, you're basically these larger than life individuals, right?
Yeah.
And onlookers are kind of in awe that they're like, wow, these are, like the new Superman movies. These are gods, effectively, amongst men, as they kind of say. And this kind of brings them down to, like, these are just people level.
Yeah, I think that works.
Okay.
So cool. Do you want to take a break and then get into the moves when we get back?
Yeah. We'll do a second look at advancement for it after we get back, and then we will get into the moves. Let me just make some notes on our sheet here. Advancement. All of the moves. ... There
Cool.
works. All right, so everyone, we are going to take a short break, like maybe 5 to 10 minutes or so. And then we will be back. I'll put on the screen to have some nice hold music, I guess you could say. But feel free to chat. Feel free to throw questions in the chat. And hopefully when I click this scene over, you won't be able to hear everything that's on mic. So we'll see how that goes. So We'll be back shortly.
Woo.
Hey, we're back.
Hello.
Okay. I don't see anything in the chat right now, so if you do have your questions, feel free to toss them our way. Hopefully you enjoyed the interlude music. I had a lot of fun putting this whole OBS thing together.
Yeah. Looks like some people are sticking around, so that's cool.
So where were we? We were, we just finished that. We wanted to take a look at the anomaly advancements real quick. Because I think it should be pretty, because it's all about self-discovery, right?
Yeah.
So the second one is just, you discover a talent that was previously hidden. Select an anomaly ability.
That makes sense.
Okay. That's for 2 of those. You get an extra anomaly move. Which should get you to all 4 additional moves. And then
Should I get you all 4 additional?
I missed what you had said there.
Sorry, does that get you to all 4? That only gets
you because you start off with 2 additional.
Yes.
You get a basic advancement of selecting a primary additional.
Oh, from
move.
the basic, yes.
Yep, and then you get your second one here.
Perfect. Yeah.
And then the other one is you are learning from your friends. Select a move from another playbook on the team. Which I really like the flavor of that one.
Yeah.
So the retirement questions or situations. So this is something that I think I came up with because normally there's like one final advancement in PBTA to, hey, retire your character. And in Chimera, you get to choose from 4 of them.
Yeah.
Because each archetype has 2 paths.
Yep.
That you can choose. And you have 2 archetypes combined together. So you effectively have
4 retirement paths.
4 retirement paths. And I think the way that we're going to kind of put this in the book is by saying, you can select this retirement path and then play it out narratively, right?
Yeah.
Saying that this is now your locked in destiny, right?
Yep.
So this one we have, you retire from this way of life to try to gain further understanding of your place in the world, or you accept yourself and become a paragon of the world, regardless of your purpose. We can probably just get rid of regardless of your purpose, right?
Yeah, you understand yourself into a paragon of the world, and then it looks good.
Yeah, because the old creation playbook was all about you were created for a reason, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And a lot of the moves, if not all of the moves, were based around what your purpose was in this world and all that sort of stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to get rid of this. This needs to change because obviously this was one of our more complex signature moves too, I think, like layout wise. I really kind of liked the way it was for the creation.
Yeah.
But it's gosh, does it not fit the anomaly?
No, it's less potent than a lot of the other signature moves. It feels more on the scale of the default move.
Yeah.
Also, the references to other specific playbook moves is a bit wonky.
It's very true.
Oh, I guess there's roll normally if you don't have that move at least there. But
which we kind of stole from our moment of intense emotion.
Yeah, which is fine for those.
Yeah.
But there's a lot going on here.
Yeah, we also have to change this.
Which, the moment of intense emotion?
Yep.
Yes. That's fine. One step at a time.
Yeah, one step at a time. We'll get there. We'll explain what that is,
We'll get there. Yeah.
Hopefully this is making sense to everybody that's watching or listening. I know Chimera is a complex looking game, but I promise you, once you're used to it, It's not that bad.
Yeah, I mean, we are going through it from a design angle, not even a play angle.
Exactly.
So yeah,
This is actual design, not actual play. Of course, that shortens to AD, and that makes me think of Active Directory because I'm a nerd. Okay, so this is going to be the hardest part, I think, is what signature move embodies this type of archetype? And then all these additional moves. Oh my goodness. I'm wondering though. I do kind of like the format of this. Like describe a flashback or whatever. I'm wondering if that can be something that leads to self-discovery.
Maybe.
But then then that kind of like throws in a almost amnesia storyline.
Yeah, I don't know if that is needed for this.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think it's got to be centered around the unique aspect to your powers you define in your ability section.
Ooh.
Okay. You want a roll plus questions move. Right. Okay. What was the...
There we go. That looks better. I changed define it here to name it here for that custom ability. Because then it can be open to interpretation, like all the other abilities. Because I can even see some of these kind of expanding to other options throughout play, right?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. This is tricky. Okay.
Yeah, this is definitely a tricky playbook, and you can kind of see why we've been kind of hung up on this one. And the creation, I think the reason we moved away from that is we wanted it to be a little bit more generic, more more story based instead of like based around the fact that it is who you are and what you can do effectively.
What I'm also struggling with is making the play and ideas distinct from the outcasts.
Yes. Because as we said, they're different, right?
Yeah.
The anomaly is looking within, the outcast is looking without.
Yeah.
We got the traditional spandex artwork of the outcast.
I think another thing that might be part of it is the anomaly. I think the anomalies story is explicitly centered around their abilities, right? That's why
Okay.
we have them define one, right?
Yeah.
I don't think the outcast needs to be. Like, you can definitely have an outcast who is like has weird and unique abilities, but they could also be incredibly mundane.
Yeah.
So we'll have to make some modifications there. I'm gonna put in
Yeah, that's a good idea.
but so I think that's what the focus should be here, is about their abilities and how those uh all right, I'm just gonna put this a comment for myself to come back to in a minute. All
Yeah,
right.
we definitely have work to do on the outcast.
Yeah, we have a lot of work to do.
I want to see what the note is on the hopeful. I've got one comment on there somewhere.
Okay. I'm gonna just.
Okay. We can probably take a look at that if there's time.
Take a look at what?
The signature move of the hopeful.
Yeah, I put that mark right there now.
Yeah.
Because it's a good move. It just, for a signature move,
Yeah.
and it's really thematic. It just doesn't. It's very shoehorned in from its trigger.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like a less generic. It feels a slightly more powerful but less generic one version of the Survivor one.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how I feel about that for the.
But this one, like, it happens every time you're at 5 conditions marked, right? And you have to mark a condition.
Right, but I don't know. Some people might never get to that point, you know?
True. I guess the other thing we need to look at then is the playbook conducive to having a condition economy.
Yeah, which I don't think the hopeful is that playbook or makes sense for it to be that playbook.
Right.
So that could be interesting for another playbook that's about I can do this all day type of playbook, right?
Yeah.
But
that's a quote from Captain America, if I know that
that
correctly.
is correct. He's got a lot of great quotes, and that is one of them. That is very integral to his. So yeah, it's not a bad move. I just don't think it works as a signature move.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Did we get rid of the archetype that could define Captain America?
I'm trying to think what archetype we would do for that from what we've got.
The weapon might be close.
Yeah, the weapon would. I'm not just a weapon.
Yeah. Because we got rid of the experiment and the displaced. Because the displaced was basically almost identical to the alien from before. Mm-hmm. We combined those two into the stranded.
Yeah.
And then the experiment, we just threw it away.
Okay. What if? What if we? Here's some spitballing, perhaps to. And looking at the playbook options we have to kind of keep things interesting. What if the outcast? And just what if with some of what we have kind of brainstormed for the outcast merges with the anomaly, and the outcast becomes something like the public or something. But like where it's about explicitly being in the public eye.
Oh, because I mean, they're already there with the signature move. We could tweak it a little bit.
Yeah, that one I want to tweak a good amount, but I like the core concept there.
Yeah.
So maybe instead of it just like, yeah, because like I think there's some conflict there.
Yeah.
So perhaps like we merge sort of some of we focus exclusively on the anomaly about being like standing out because of their abilities, and the outcast just becomes you are someone who is in the public eye, whether it's because of your powers or because of your past or what have you.
Okay.
How do you feel about that suggestion?
Yeah, I think that would make sense. Yeah. Yeah, we just blasted away all the additional moves on there, didn't we?
Yeah.
They were really bad.
Yeah.
The Outcast was based previously on the Mutant, which was supposed to encapsulate the X-Men feel, right?
Yeah.
But by defining an archetype as the Mutant, we basically pigeonholed only kind of feeling that you could only be a mutant if you were the mutant playbook. And also the moves were horrible. I felt bad about that whole archetype. So I'm glad that we're going in this direction instead. It may have captured, I think, some of the X-Men like feel, I guess. I don't think it was worthwhile. It was too specific. Mundane.
Yeah.
Options.
Okay. Let's see. Let me pull up the original some stuff and start piecing together something for the movie.
Okay.
8.0.
Let's see if I can craft another description.
Okay.
Here we go. You are unique. Whether you were born or created,
Okay. Okay.
Just kind of throwing words out there right now in the description, and whether or not it sticks later, we'll figure that out. I don't like the wording on this, but we'll put it down. This is getting too long, I think. Yes, it is. Maybe I'll just leave it there. You are unique. Whether you were born or created from another world or a neighborhood nearby, you find yourself wrestling with your place in this world. The android without equal, the alien among strangers, the clone without a past of your own are all examples of what you use to define yourself. A little clunky wording there, but
also, I was looking for the signature moves to try to like get some inspiration.
Yeah.
While we don't need it for like they don't need to be in the next couple of weeks because we'll be doing superhero and fantasy. I do think we need to look at the magical girl signature moves because after we've been doing these edits and redesigns on fantasy and superhero,
yeah.
I think a lot of the magical girl ones outside of Mask and Guardian feel lackluster.
Okay. I can see that. Why is that one in 9-point font? Oh, that's why.
So just a thought.
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah, it might be good to leave as is for version 0.7. And then we'll rework those in 0.8.
I think thematically they all hit the right themes. I just think they are missing something.
Yeah, we can make
Except
them punchier.
for Genius. Genius is one makes me I don't feel great about.
Right.
That's the only one where I'm like outright.
Yeah, I was just looking at that too, and I was like, yeah.
This isn't. Yeah.
But yeah, Guardian.
Yeah, there's a lot of issues with this.
Yeah. Just make them punchier. The Guardian one is pretty good, right?
The Guardian one is great. The Mask one is great.
Mm-hmm.
The Leader, Magical Companion feels more like a default move than a signature move.
That might be good to move that there, right?
It might. That's one option. The other is to just make it a punchier effect.
Signature. Yeah. I would be very open to the idea of making that a default move. because then regardless of primary or secondary, choosing the leader gives you that companion.
Yeah.
Which that could work out really well, I think.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why I gave the leader a companion. A leader might actually be the first one I added a signature move to. Because I wanted to give incentive to the players to choose the leader, because it's implied that you are the leader at that point. And a lot of people, for whatever reason, have issues with, stepping up sometimes, and being the leader of the party, whether it's they want to pass the spotlight around or whatever. But I think the thing that's interesting to note about the leader magical girl is they are the leader whether they want it or not.
Yeah.
So you can have the reluctant leader. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm supposed to be in charge. So you're supposed to, like, rise to that occasion, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think we need to do a little bit of jiggling with the leader stuff to make sure that they don't end up with a little too much going on. But I think that would work, yeah.
Yeah, I will pop a comment on there.
But I think that's for another stream.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. All right. And of course, in version 0.8, we are going to be adding back the other 12 archetypes that we're leaving out for 0.7.
Yeah.
Which is going to be a lot of work. But that's why we only decided on 6 archetypes per genre module in 0.7. We scaled it back a little bit, so we could do a little bit more focus testing on these.
Exactly. Make sure that everything worked with the shifts we were making before we shifted all of them over.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. You I like the first half. The second half feels like it lacks some of the closing power of a lot of the other ones. Like a list of examples, I get why it's there, but it just doesn't feel like it.
Which one are we looking at right now?
The anomalies description.
Oh, yeah.
Here, let me try something.
Yep.
I'm gonna copy this over to the other side just so we don't lose it.
That sounds like a good plan. This is secretly the reason why we have a primary and secondary playbook, is so we can copy things over to the other side.
What you're learning here is that when you edit playbooks, just have 2 copies side by side. Your edit copy and your saved copy. Okay.
It's actually not a bad idea.
No, it's not at all. I do that when I'm writing code sometimes.
Oh, Lord.
I'll have 2 copies open, one that I edit and one that's like the last stable version, so I can compare them.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Don't break it.
And then I will push the edited one to a stable version whenever I test. Kind of like it's GitHub adjacent, but like it's actively having both copies open. You know? It's like having your last commit always open, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. You first.
I don't think we're going to get through the Outcast.
I don't think so either. I also feel myself starting to lose some energy.
Yeah. I have a dinner to get to later, but
how about this? Just because I think we probably need some time to chew on what we want for the moves.
yes.
Why don't we focus our goals then on make sure our description for the anomaly is where we want it.
Yes.
Take a look at the hopeful signature move, just that there's nothing else in superhero. And take a look at the outcast description, backstory, relationships, and abilities. Make sure all that is set.
Okay. So currently we are working on the description for the anomaly.
Yeah, I have an idea. I just need to get the word. The words are in my head, but they aren't translating into a sentence.
Okay.
You find yourself. So you are unique. Whether you were born or created from another world or a neighborhood nearby, you find yourself wrestling with your place in this world. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to say that I can't find the words for right now is I want the like. Oh, got it. Will you carve out your mark in spite of your anomaly, or because of it? Something like this. Not. Your place in this world, but also. Something like this. Maybe.
Will you embrace the anomaly and let it define you, or carve your own path despite people's
Needs to be shortened a bit. But
yeah. That's not going to give me much. Find yourself wrestling with not only your place in this world, but also your own identity. Will you embrace the anomaly and let it define you, or carve your path despite people's expectations? Or we could put it down to 9-point font and just call it a day. Because then it fits perfectly. So I think it sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay, so we got the description taken care of. Something happened here. I need to fix this border because it is bugging me.
What's going on?
Oh, I see. It's just a zoom issue.
What's going on?
The left of the looks border over here.
Oh.
It just looks like it's a thin line, but it's technically not.
Huh. That's weird.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I think. I don't know. I'll do a right border in this and see what happens. Oh, it fixed it. Hey, it was technically off. Come on. Come on. That was the only one that it was off on? No, it's off in a hole. No. That's gonna bug me. Look at that. Yeah, this is weird. I don't know why it's doing what it's doing, but I don't like it. Google Sheets messing things up. That's fine though. So you're getting a sneak peek at all of this fine art from Chase, who recently changed their Twitter handle to Chase Makes Art. So if you want to follow them on this, because this was just stuff that they whipped together. This is like not much effort on each one because it was all just sketches that I asked for. But they do some really amazing work. Okay, and the looks should be fine, right?
Yeah, the looks are good, I think.
Monstrous and marvelous, robotic and riveting, otherworldly and odd. What I'm really curious to see, because the archetype looks are brand new to version 0.7. What I'm very curious about is how they stack with primary and secondary. Because with every one, every character has 4 descriptors of their archetype looks that are kind of mashed together to figure out what that means. So like you could pick robotic and riveting as the anomaly, and then bright and beaming as the hopeful, and have a anomaly hopeful, which that would be a pretty sweet story to tell, but B, it kind of gives you that idea of what your character looks like, which is really cool. I'm really excited to see how that works out. Of course, I did alliteration for all of the looks, heavily inspired by Descent into Midnight. And if you are curious, Descent into Midnight is the game that kickstarted this last year, and they are currently busy getting that all taken care of. DIM RPG, I believe, on Twitter, if you want to follow them. Heavily inspired, Chimera is heavily inspired by a lot of what is going on with Descent into Midnight. All right, so what's next on the list? I think the description's fine now.
Let's do the hopeful.
Okay, let's go to the hopeful.
I think we're good with the anomaly for now.
Yeah. Because we got a lot to do still, but at least we have a path forward.
I also put, actually, if you want to take a quick look, I put a template for what the move might look like.
Okay.
The anomaly.
When you draw on the uniqueness of your power to do the impossible, roll with questions. Okay. Are you not holding back, etc.? Are you comfortable with your anomaly in this moment? Oh, I like that.
And I want this to not be a replacement for like Unleash. I think this might even be something you do alongside, or but it's more about like the effects have more to do with how you and others view your anomaly in that moment than with the actual roll, I think.
Yeah. Is this a like a dual thing where you roll to embrace your chimera with plus questions?
It might be.
And then do the results of both?
It could be. It's worth thinking about. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah. So it could be interesting mechanically, at least.
It's a rough template, I think.
Yeah. And Embrace Your Chimera is our masks equivalent of what is it? Unleash Your Powers or something.
Yeah.
The catch-all. Okay. Yeah, no, I really like the direction of that. I think that could be pretty powerful and could hit the nail on the head. Anomalously, oh my goodness. Thank you for that pun.
What happened?
Anomalously.
Yeah, anomalously. Yeah, anomalously.
Because
An
anemone. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Words are hard.
Words are hard. Why do words hard?
I don't know. I don't know why we still have people listening to us butcher words after like 3 hours. I barely have the energy to be here. How are you still listening in?
Yeah, thank you for sticking
Thank
around. We're really happy to have you here. Okay, so hopeful. This trigger seems too specific. I
like in over my head, but my heart will not falter.
Yeah.
Perhaps it's not about like. Perhaps it's a recovery move.
Okay.
In terms of you don't have to wait until your conditions are fully marked.
Yeah.
But like. Like has. Modifying our others and dangers to our others relying on you.
Yeah.
When the situation is dire, and you draw the strength to go on.
Mm-hmm.
To keep going. Roll with question.
Okay.
The issue is like the old trigger is definitely good and specific and strong.
You think it's too specific is the thing.
It doesn't like I'm also looking like, for example, like an equivalent move to this is the I can do this all day from the soldier in Mask.
Yeah.
Which is when something causes you to remove yourself from a fight, you can shift your certain labels instead.
Okay.
Which like I could see this move 100% being here in a capacity like that in a secondary.
Mm-hmm.
Or like an additional move?
Yeah. But this is the like the traditional Spider-Man is getting beat down move and he stands back up every time.
Yeah. Every time Spider-Man gets back up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on. When thinks you find the strength roll. Hold on. Okay. Get back up. Hold on. Okay. Get back up. Maybe this? Voila.
When you get back up from a blow that should have kept you down, roll with questions. Ooh, I like that. Okay.
But we need just need to make the effects.
Yeah. I will fix the formatting on that first part. There we go. Before you type in there, I'm just going to move it up. Okay. Because I have a feeling that this is going to get a longer effect,
Probably.
possibly, yeah.
Also, I'm looking at the. Gosh. I'm just looking at the superhero moves real quick to make sure there's nothing else we want to edit.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks like we have 6 folks in the chat right now, aside from us 2.
Man.
So, does anyone have any questions while we're getting down to the wire of this last sort of thing that we're doing here? Feel free to pop those into the chat. You can ask anything about the game that we haven't covered yet. Anything about us, I guess. Just throw those questions right in the chat there, and we will answer them. Unless the chat's just updating and not showing me anything, because I haven't seen anything for about an hour now.
I'm going to put some comments real quick for some random things I want to take a look at.
Lady Neptune is just here for support.
Ooh. So I think for the hopeful, I want to take a look at The Best of Us as well.
Okay.
It feels kind of lackluster compared to some of the other Aid Your Ally moves we've been working on.
Mm-hmm.
I think it needs a bit more.
Yeah, I think you're right.
How about they take advantage forward when they stand the next time they stand proud as a hero?
Oh yeah, I like that.
Okay, cool.
Well, this is it's altering a aid your allies role.
Yeah, but
right.
it the limitation does not feel worth the bonus.
Okay.
Compared to like say, we have some that do that somewhere else.
Yeah.
Trying to find an example.
So aid your allies. And I need to probably change one of those. So I've got aid your allies and assist your allies.
Yeah.
Did we change that? I thought it was assist your team before.
It was, I think.
Did we change that last stream? And
assist your team also, though, I feel like I'm not sure how I feel about team.
Yeah.
But I do see right that's the same alliteration, the same words.
Because the only people you're ever going to assist mechanically is your team, right?
Well, they might not always be a team, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Right. Like in Superhero, a magical girl, they most likely will be.
Yeah.
But
although, I think we, at least until now, explicitly stated you are a team.
For all of them except fantasy, we do.
Oh, we do.
Right? Fantasy doesn't
Hmm.
necessarily.
Okay. Well, we'll put a pin in that.
We'll take a look at that in a minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's put a note down for that, and let's try to get a wrap on this hopeful move.
Yeah. Let's wrap that
it's
up.
gonna end since. Okay.
I'll put a pin on this as well, maybe.
Okay. I think the core thing to the hopeful, like the Spider-Man always get back up, is not just a like boon to yourself, but an inspiration to those around you, right? Like when Spider-Man gets back up, it inspires everyone watching.
That reminds me of inspired by the Protector. So they select one, they select two, and you select one as well. So that one is inspiring one other individual, right?
Yeah.
So you're thinking that this is a full group inspiration sort of deal, right? So we have plenty of room to add more to it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna bump these down a bit. This one, pop that down there. That down there, kinda. Okay, so in addition to the other options, add +1 to the fellowship pool, and they take advantage forward the next time they embody your words. I like that. I think that's a good alteration to the best of us.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I want to move all of these down a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 slots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Perfect. I really need to fix the formatting, I think, of Nice Work Kid. There's something about it that I don't know. We'll play test it. We'll see what happens.
Which one? Yeah. My issue with Nice Work Kid is it's tricky to. It relies on someone else's action, and yeah, you can try to solicit praise, but right now it is reliant on an external force triggering it.
Right, and somebody on your team or the GM would have to know that you have this move and what the trigger is.
You can let them know, but it definitely needs a bit more to it in order to make it easier to pull up and play, I would agree.
Yeah. So
I like it thematically.
Yeah. So I'm going to put a comment on there. Rework trigger.
Yeah.
And we can save that for later. That's fine.
Yep.
I just want to... so we got a good trigger for In Over My Head, but my heart will not falter. What if... So on a 10, you stand tall and inspire a team. So this is just you clearing a condition and add +1 to the fellowship pool. I think we could probably get rid of that.
Sure.
And if you look at the Protector...
The Inspire move from there?
Inspire from there. I would say we can make on a 10 plus, everybody on your team, including yourself, gets to select one from the list.
Yeah.
Which is kind of that inspiration, right?
Okay. Here, I think I got an idea.
Okay. I am not to the right space. There we go. Oh, I see a comment on the innovator. I'm just going to pop the list down here in case we want to use it.
I don't think we need a choose list, actually.
Okay.
Unless it's for the 13 plus. But leave it there.
We'll see what happens.
Plus 1, 2, fellowship. So, okay, we have two options here. We can either go on a 7 to 9 consequence or on a 10 plus bonus. What are we thinking?
Okay, so...
Okay, actually, I have a draft for a 7 to 9 one that I'll put out real quick, and then we can talk.
Sure. I like the thought of not having a 7 to 9 consequence for the hopeful.
Mm-hmm. That also makes sense.
Because it fits very thematically.
So that's one option.
Yeah. You've got the foe's complete attention. Okay. On a 13 plus, every ally can
that's when, like,
one from below.
Well, names. What's his name? Kingpin is like yelling, "Why won't you just die?" and is focusing on only Miles.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's true, yeah.
It's technically like a negative because you're gonna take some hits, but it's not. It's still a positive in a way.
Yeah, I think so too. It adds some good story to it. And a 13 plus, every ally can pick from. I would say including yourself. Right?
Say it again, sir.
On a 13 plus, every ally including yourself.
I think you already get the clear condition. I don't think you need to. I think it's fine for the person.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Okay, fellowship pool. You've got foes.
I put a note to myself that I might take another crack at this in a bit when my brain is more
fresh.
Yeah.
I agree. It does seem like we can take a crack at that, and nice work, kid. To make those a little punchier.
Yeah. I have a quick note for Innovator.
Yeah.
Then I'd like to take a look at.
That was I can do that too, right?
What?
The move I can do that too.
Yeah. So right now we have it when you create a gadget with the purpose of mimicking another playbook's ability. I mean, I think we're that like I want to change it perhaps to another character's ability because every ability you can think of exists in a playbook, right?
Yes.
I don't think that's story interesting. That is my only note.
Yeah. Mimic another character's ability. I guess the only. Yeah, okay, that makes that fits things thematically.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay. On a miss, it still works, but has unintended side effect. On a 13 plus, select 2 instead.
I think the rest is fine.
Options. I like that a lot. Cool. Perfect. Okay, so the innovator's done. The hopeful is getting there, right? Yeah. The anomaly, we have a direction on it. This is somebody that is inwardly focused.
Yeah.
And then the outcast, we also have a direction on outwardly focused, outwardly towards society or how society views you.
So I guess the question is, do we want to commit to it being more specifically like less the outcast and more like the watched or the public or whatever we call it?
Ooh, so you're thinking changing the playbook name itself?
Yeah, like it's not necessarily an outcast, because that's what the anomaly is kind of hitting at.
Yeah,
make it more about like the watch, and like the eyes of the media are always on you, or the eyes of the public is always on you.
Oh, fancy. Okay. Let's see. The watch, gosh, there's so much. This might be another fresh brain thing.
Yeah, I think, but like, is that the direction we want to take it?
I like it. Okay. Because I mean the outcast is somebody that it feels like you're constantly battling against unacceptance.
Yeah.
Whereas changing that will make it it would almost feel like a different version of, what is it, the Star? Or
yeah, it's a mix of the Star and like Legacy and Scion and a bunch of those stuff.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, let's go that way. Let's figure out a new name for that some other time.
Yeah.
Rename this to something similar to the watch or whatever. Brains are hard to brain sometimes. There we go. So we'll look at that with fresh eyes and totally know what we're talking about there.
So real quick, I had 2 ideas for this playbook.
Okay.
That I think still work even if we change it.
Yep.
The first is, I think so. I like the idea of the track, but I do want to. So I think what we need to do is we move the track into a default move.
Okay.
And all your moves will interact with the track.
Ooh.
So like that way, even if it's a secondary, you can interact with the track from your additional moves, just lesser.
Fancy. Okay.
And then your signature move is sort of like the strongest way to control that.
Yeah. Okay.
That's one option. Actually, I think no matter what, I think it makes sense to move the track into a default move.
Yeah, I think so too. The hardest part is space at that point, right?
Yeah. So what I was thinking for the track, for reorganizing it some.
Yeah.
I think we could work with it as one track. I think with one track you can end up with a situation where you just end up in the middle boring area a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So what if you have Fame and Infamy as 2 separate tracks? And you could then have a character who is simultaneously both one or neither. So like you could be both really infamous and you have like active organizations hunting you because you know are a villain in their eyes, but also famous on like a local level, and like despite being hunted, there are people helping you or stuff like that.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
and then you just have like regular moves, and it'll be structured like a regular playbook with all the moves interacting with that normally.
Yeah.
Another option is to borrow a little from the innocent playbook.
Okay.
I don't know how familiar you are with this from Mask.
Yeah, that's the one that came back. There's like a villain in the future or the present.
You become a villain in the future.
Yeah.
You're either like from the past or time travel, whatever, but you see your future self as a villain.
Okay.
And so the way that playbook works is you have a set of as you like fall into villainy, you transform basic moves into like the darker version of the basic moves.
Okay.
I was wondering if maybe like your playbook was basically organized split sort of like in half, not for the basic moves, but for every playbook move that you pick has like two sides to it.
Oh.
And based on whether you are like more embodying the hero or embodying the villain in that moment, you get access to a certain side or something like that.
Interesting. Okay.
That would be a bigger structural departure.
Yeah, I can see that. I can kind of see the structure being kind of like, instead of just all the way across, right?
Yeah.
We do split.
Exactly. And I think the way it would work is you would either at the start of each scene or a certain time period or what have you would choose which aspect of yourself you're embodying, right?
Yeah. That could be really interesting.
Yeah. I'm just, the hesitance comes from it being a core playbook and perhaps being a bit more like departure,
a little bit more complex. The other option, because since we're completely redesigning this playbook effectively,
move the sidekick in,
or the Chosen and the Demigod are effectively done.
Yeah, Chosen and Demigod could be the ones we move in for 0.7. I really like Demigod a lot. I feel like sidekick sidekick adds some levity that is perhaps missing.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'd say, yeah, Demigod are Chosen for 0.7, and then sidekick becomes one of the core 6.
And then the artist previously known as the Outcast will be put into 0.8.
Perfect.
Oh boy. Okay. So I love Demigod so much.
Me too. I think it's one of the better ones we've made.
It's just the divine gifts have such good flavor to them. They don't have 4 additional moves because we ran out of room, but I don't think it needs it.
I definitely do not think it needs it.
And yeah, it's oh gosh, I love this one so much. But also I love the Chosen so much. But the Chosen is basically the superhero magical girl, right?
Yeah, I would say Demigod.
Yeah, so we'll move Demigod in, and right between the anomaly and the hopeful, because that's how alphabetical order works.
Yes, the alphabet. I know it well.
Yes, I know of this alphabet.
I've heard of your alphabet.
And then the 4 to be determined what they do exactly. I mean, the Chosen's pretty much done. We've got the anti-hero, the Chosen, the Outcast, and the Sidekick. That'll be in version 0.8. And then for version 0.7, we will have the Anomaly, the Demigod, the Hopeful, the Innovator, the Stranded, and the Weapon for superheroes. Cool. So that really knocks us down to finishing up the Hopeful, which we just got a few things on, and reworking the Anomaly. Yeah, so the Anomaly is just the big hurdle at this point, right?
Makes sense.
So exciting. You were all here for a complete restructure of the superhero genre, effectively.
Yeah, we did. A lot of work in this last 3.5 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I do feel a little burned out, but I think it was really good. We made some amazing progress. 2 genres are done.
Yeah.
That's remarkable.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
right.
thank you everyone for joining us. I'm gonna pop us into the end of stream thing in a second, but Amr, you wanna tell folks who you are again and where to find you?
Sure. I'm fairly certain everyone who's stayed here this entire time probably already knows the answer to that. But if you don't, I'm Amr Ammourazz. You can find me everywhere on the internet at Ammourazz. You can hear my voice on the Musafirs Podcast, which season 1 is almost fully out. Season 2 will be out hopefully 2020, early 2021. You can also hear my voice on a bunch of other random guest places, which I sometimes tweet about. So my Twitter is the best place to find out about that. I'm also starting a stream tomorrow night, which is going to be wonderful at 7 p.m. EST called Sound Clash. Again, you can find more about that on my Twitter. Doing a Chimera stream, which I've mentioned at the start. But those of you who weren't here at the start, that's your secret sneak peek. More information will be about that soon. That'll be starting hopefully September. I also do other game design stuff. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's the rapid fire version.
All right. And I have been Ryan Boelter, aka Lord Neptune, co-designer of this game, and also co-host on Character Creation Cast, which is on the One Shot Podcast Network. You can find links to pretty much everything that I do on my Twitter at LordNeptune. Feel free to follow me here. I think we'll keep doing our design sessions here for Chimera. Also planning to do maybe some other design stuff at some point. Maybe some sound design at some point as well, because I also do sound design for Horror Borealis, which is another podcast on the podcast or the One Shot Podcast Network. Gosh, what else do I do? Oh, and at some point we're gonna have Chimera actual play campaign streaming on Amr's channel or on Huetopia.
Yeah.
Which is going to be fantastic. And I may or may not start up the same, so we can get a couple different looks at campaign play for Chimera, which has not been done to my knowledge. So, very excited for all of that.
Yeah.
So, thank you, everyone. Feel free to hit us up on Twitter if you have any questions. Otherwise, keep posted on our Twitters. We'll let you know when the next stream will be.
Yeah. Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
All right.